We thought a weekend without screens would fix everything. A complete digital detox. My girlfriend Jess, our friends Marco and Lila, and me. We found this perfect cabin deep in the Smokies. No internet, no cell service. Jess was so excited. No feeds, no filters, just us, she'd said. I had no idea how terrifying that phrase was about to become. The cabin seemed perfect at first. All old creaky wood, a huge fireplace, and that comforting smell of pine and rain. It even had a vintage record player in the corner. But the silence, it was different. Without the constant buzz of phones or the hum of a Wi-Fi router, the quiet felt raw, almost oppressive. The first night, we laughed it off. We told ghost stories, played cards by the fire. But around midnight, we all heard it. A faint, distorted sound, like a whisper played backward or a voice caught in a fan. Lila dismissed it. It's just the wind. But Marco, he stood up and listened intently. No, he said, his voice dropping. That sounded like my voice. We tried to ignore it, chalked it up to nerves, and went to bed. The next morning, the record player was spinning, but there was no power cord, no vinyl on it, just the needle scraping against the empty turntable, whispering static. And buried under that static, a voice. It was mine. I can't stand Jess sometimes. She's so dramatic. Jess just froze. Her eyes locked with mine, and I saw the hurt instantly, before I could even try to explain. I had said that years ago in a late-night chat with Marco after we'd had a fight. How is that possible? I stammered, but Jess just turned and walked out the door. By noon, the cabin had fully come alive. Every time a moment of silence fell, something would start replaying. Faint echoes, overlapping whispers, digital-sounding distortions like a live stream glitching out. Marco heard his own voice next, talking trash about Lila on a podcast that never even aired. Then came Lila's voice, private confessions she'd made to her therapist over a video call. This cabin wasn't just haunted, it was listening. And it knew everything we'd ever said online. We panicked. We tried to leave, but the car wouldn't start. The dashboard just flickered with static snow, even though we had left every single electronic device back in the cabin. The digital detox wasn't enough. Whatever this thing was, it didn't need Wi-Fi. It had us. That night was hell. Jess wouldn't even look at me. Marco and Lila were outside screaming at each other, years of buried resentments and digital secrets spilling out like blood. And then, the power flickered on, even though it had been off the whole time. The record player started again. This time, the voice wasn't ours. It was a distorted, horrifying mixture of all of us, as if the cabin itself had learned to speak. You came to forget yourselves, but I remember everything. The windows began to pulse with light, flashing images across the walls. Videos, posts, voice messages, every ugly digital moment we had ever buried. Every deleted post, every private DM, everything we thought was gone forever was now flashing across the room like hellfire. Lila screamed. Marco, in a rage, smashed the record player to pieces, but the voices didn't stop. They got louder, coming from the walls now, as if the very wood had been watching and recording us for years. I couldn't take it. I ran outside, gasping for air, begging for the forest to just swallow me whole. But even the night air buzzed. If you listened close enough, you could hear it. Faint notification pings echoing through the trees, whispers of usernames, fragments of data carried on the wind. When I finally stumbled back inside, the others were gone. Just their phones, sitting neatly on the kitchen table. Their screens were on, glowing brightly, even though we'd left them powered down. And on each screen was the same live feed. It was me. Standing right there in the cabin, watching myself through a dozen different lenses. The cabin spoke one last time. You wanted silence. But silence remembers what you hide. Thanks for tuning in. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the dark side of technology. Stay safe out there, and maybe think twice before your next digital detox.